Website strategies and website technologies are constantly changing. And that's why I really enjoy connecting with and talking to experts who do this kind of stuff day in and day out. And now that's why I was very excited to sit down with Ben Cash, CEO of Reason One, a company that helps healthcare organizations with their websites and online strategies. I wanted to ask Ben what he is seeing and hearing from his clients in terms of challenges and opportunities when it comes to websites in 2023. Hello and welcome to Sway Health, where we explore the latest stories and interesting insights from the brightest minds in healthcare marketing. I'm Colin Hung, and you're about to watch my interview with Ben Cash, CEO at Reason One. I hope you enjoy it. Ben, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks. I'm excited to be talking with you today.
Yeah. So you presented here at HCIC 2023
Yeah.
on the topic of websites,
Yep.
which is always a great topic that we love talking about here at Sway Health. Talk to me a little bit more about some of the work that you're doing with your clients and some of the website stuff that they're asking you to do.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of things going on always in healthcare because it's in such disruption all the time. But I think, one of the areas that is really important and that we're having a lot of conversations on is about composable architecture, composable tech.
Okay.
And I think for many years, health systems looked for that all-in-one solution, right? That solves all the things. And the problem with that is whether it's risks like HIPAA compliance or accessibility, and you have to sort of burn the whole thing down and start from scratch, or if consumerization is causing or requiring quicker changes in that adaptivity to consumer needs, it's hard to change and adapt when it's all in one. So composable architecture means that you can pull together the best-in-class pieces to solve specific user needs, specific user journeys, so that if you have a consumer need in one area, whether it's scheduling or any number of things, you can find the right tool and leave everything else the same, right? So, during the pandemic, budgets were wild, right? People had to figure out how to solve problems in smaller ways with smaller budgets. And that trend really, I think, accelerated this because they were trying to solve individual challenges of telehealth or various user tasks on the site. And so people started to look to some of these individual tools. In fact, just down the couple of booths down here is Kairos, right? And it's a great tool for find a doc, for scheduling, for finding location. And it's, Kairos is a great tool that you can insert into a solution and solve that problem. So composable architecture gives you more freedom and flexibility. It makes for more steady budgets. You don't have that big capital expense that you've got to outlay, right? So you can evolve rather than have a revolution, as it were.
Obviously, with Reason One, you guys do a lot of website work for your clients and do a lot with healthcare providers. What are you seeing in terms of requests or trends in terms of what they're asking you to do, other than what you're trying to convince them of, which is, of course, this composable architecture?
Sure. I think a lot of them are realizing that as they're feeling the competition from CVS Minute Clinic and Amazon Clinic and all these sort of B2C retailers that are getting in the space, I think they're realizing we have a lot of friction in our user experience. And how do we solve this friction, different friction points? And they're not sure how to do it because it's a really systemic problem, right? And so that's what a lot of the conversations request is: how do we move the friction? How do we shorten this user journey? How do we make it easier for our patients to find the right physician, to schedule an appointment, to do any number of tasks that they want to do? And so that's where a lot of the conversations that we have, and because that's what they're trying to solve.
Is there, and across your journey, as you look across all your client set, is there a mistake that you see a lot of clients have made prior to them working with you? Is there something you just go look at it and go, oh, I just wish they had done that? Or do they have their own mistake that they kind of go, oh, man, I wish this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's a struggle what we all have, right? If your health system, you're doing all kinds of great things. You're improving outcomes. You're doing all these wonderful things. You're awesome. U.S. News and World Report thinks you're awesome, right? But ultimately, it's not about you, right? And it's about how can I facilitate user action, right? How can I prioritize their needs over our business goals, right? And I think that's a common mistake that a lot of organizations make. And it's okay because it's natural because there's so many competing priorities, pet projects. Someone thinks this is really important. They want to make sure that it's seen. Put this on the homepage, right? But in reality, they have to fight that urge and they have to make decisions and align their priorities with the changing needs of consumers. And I think that's something that we see a lot of people making a mistake, right? And we try to help them prioritize user needs, make things more task-oriented.
So if I was at an organization, if I was a chief marketing officer or somebody who's looking after my organization's website, and I was thinking about maybe doing a revamp, kind of cleaning things up, what advice would you give to me is the first thing I should be doing?
I think the first thing is what are you solving for? That's the first thing you have to ask, right? I think people, especially like in RFPs, right? They start with a checklist. We need this, this, and this, right? And it's just checklist mentality. I think people often don't have the courage or the time to step back and say, what are we solving for? Why are we doing this? Why now, right? Once they've addressed that, then you have to make sure you're getting the right tech, right? So I think people, what's the old expression? No one gets fired for choosing X platform, right? We got to choose the right technology that solves user needs in the right way and that gives internal teams, makes it more efficient, stabilizes budgets, all those things. So to get the right tech that does those things, you need to go through a platform evaluation process where you match organizational and user needs to the roadmaps of the technology, right? Because when you're making these decisions, you're not just looking at 6 months or even a year out or how to solve this problem right now. You have to be thinking about 3 years out, 5 years out. And so good platform evaluation means that you're evaluating the roadmaps of individual pieces of technology and to make sure that those roadmaps align with your roadmap, right? So you don't, in a couple of years, wind up, oh my gosh, we have the wrong tool or this is not working for us. And then you're like, how do I extract this? And that's what a lot of health systems find themselves in. The wrong decision, bad tech, outdated tech, and they have to be able to move so much faster as they did even a few years ago.
Ben, you shared a lot of great information with us today. Where can people go to find more information about Reason One?
Oh, great, thanks. You can visit us on LinkedIn, also reasononeinc.com.
All right. Ben, thank you so much for being on our program today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Hey, I want to thank Ben for coming on camera with me and for sharing his insights into what his clients and what his company is doing with websites in healthcare. And hey, if you enjoyed this interview as much as I did, please like and subscribe. Also, head on over to Sway Health, that's Sway with 2 A's, .health, where you'll find more great content like this. I'm Colin Hung, thanks for being here, and I'll catch you on the next video.